Mike Coppinger, sources. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. temporarily suspended by Nevada Commission for evading VADA collectors at his Studio City from home last week. He declined drug tests and faces a hearing with Commission on November 20th. Fight with Daniel Jacobs slated for December 20th in jeopardy. A lot of people thinking that Gabriel Rosado is going to get the step up and fight fight Jacobs on that card. Gary, man, thoughts on Chavez doing Chavez-like things?
What did Chavez test for? What did he pop for?
Well, he didn't pop. He just evaded a test. He declined
evaded a test. That's right. He evaded the test,
yes.
Which means he was going to fail it. So, do you think it was weed? Do you think it was a party drug like cocaine, or do you think it was a steroid?
Well, the funny thing is, if it's weed or cocaine, he's fine because it's out of competition. So, like, if he said no for those things, then he was just ignorant and didn't realize he could just take the drug test, and they're not testing for those things right now. Literally, that's the case. Like, they would not be testing for cocaine or marijuana at this stage. Or at least they shouldn't, especially marijuana. I mean, VADA's made that very clear that they don't test for cannabinoids out of competition or in competition, really. So, if it's that and he declines the test, then he's just an idiot. And that's still quite probable because, let's be honest, if there's one fighter that we talk about often on this show that could be just an idiot, Chavez Jr. is up there, right? Now, could it be something else? Because, look, we've been seeing pictures of him lately with Freddie Roach, and he's lean, in shape, probably with some of the best shape we've seen him as of late as well. Could it have been something else, like a diuretic, some other PED or banned substance that he was worried about? Absolutely. Because Chavez Jr. is one of those guys I don't trust to be naturally fit. I am going to assume he cuts corners. And maybe that's a little bit harsh, but that's just his reputation. And so he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt in this case, I'll be honest.
It just seems dumb, right? Like, he's obviously on his last chance. If he's avoiding tests, it means he knows he's going to fail. So, like, I don't understand why. I mean, look,
for those who don't know, if you just decline a test, that will automatically be an adverse finding. Like, that's what they're going to view it as. If you're VADA, WADA, USADA, whatever it be, whatever the respective agency to them would be as well, whether it be UFC, WBC, whoever it be. If you just decline a test, that's a failed test. Like, you tested positive in theory, in their mind, automatically. That's how it works.
It just seems like the dumbest thing to do. Like, just stay clean for this camp. Unless, he does like the drinking party. Maybe he went out partying and did something he knew he wasn't supposed to take, and hopefully he said, I'll find a way to get this out of my system in the next 24 hours and take the test from there. I don't know. It just seems like this is really, really dumb for a guy on his last chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's a really, really dumb decision not to take the test, unless he knew he was cheating. But if he knew he was cheating, he knew he had to get tested. So then why did you cheat? This is almost it's inexplicable to talk about how dumb this really is.
No, it's incredibly stupid. And again, even if it's for like weed, he should know that he can just test, and they're not testing for that. So it's like, even in that case, like, yeah, like, you're not taking PD, but man, you're just continually being a stupid person, Chavez.
What if he popped like Adderall or something to stay up and party? Like, that would show up, right? Because that's would it not?
It's a methamphetamine. So
yeah,
you could, but then again, like, because who popped for something like that and then said it was Adderall? Was it Shane Mosley Jr. or somebody? Like, there was a box in the last 5 years that happened. Maybe it was like John Molina Jr.
Yeah.
But somebody tested positive for something. They said it was Adderall, and I don't think it really worked that well. But they gave him just a 6-month suspension. If you have a legitimate, obvious like prescription for Adderall, you're fine. You just disclose that information, and you're good. If you disclose that information to VADA or whoever the respective collection agency would be, you're fine. You're disclosing the information, that prescription med. If you don't and you're taking it illegally, then it's still an issue, I would say.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask, right? Like, if you get a prescription for it, well, what if you got a prescription for? Well, again, they didn't test for weed, right? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why, come up with an explanation of why Chavez would avoid the test, which is the same as failing the test. The only thing I can think of is that he didn't know what was going to show up on the test, so he tried to flush it out of his system right quick. And said, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't find me. I'll take it a day or two from now and try to get this out of my system. You know how you can buy those things from the drugstore that clean out marijuana from your urine or whatever?
Yeah, they don't really work.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I just, from what I heard.
A friend
told me they don't work, guys. Just do the old-fashioned way. Just don't smoke.
But again, why marijuana is a banned substance blows my mind in the first place.
Well, thank God. Now the levels are so high, the threshold, and plus out of competition, it's not even really tested for, so you're fine. Like, honestly, if you're a fighter out there, you can smoke weed if you're not within fight camp, really, or even then, if you're within fight camp, because you're exercising so much, because you're cutting weight, you're cutting all that fat out of you. It's easier for your system to be clean and cleanse itself naturally, so you can smoke weed till like 2 or 3 weeks till the fight, honestly.
Or don't smoke it, because smoking's bad for you, and take the gummies or the drops or something like that.
Yeah, of course, you can do that, yeah. Of course, yeah. I mean,
don't smoke. Smoking's bad for your lungs. There's better ways. Because, like, I'm one that thinks, like, THC, cannabis, it's a healing substance. It's a good substance.
Oh, yeah, right?
It's good for you.
There's a huge movement in the NFL, obviously, to allow CBD medical use for athletes instead of painkillers, right? Like, that's a huge movement in the NFL right now. So I'm all in favor of that.
I have epilepsy. It's proven to treat epilepsy. Like, I don't understand why it would be banned, especially when there's healthy ways to take it that doesn't include smoking it.
Yeah, my grandma has epilepsy and she takes it. Same exact reason. But digressing from that, let's move on because Chavez Jr. still one of the biggest fail sons in all of boxing. So sad.